Hey guys, Taylor Hampton here. I was with Team Baldwin for the simulation project this class, and this is my oral presentation. So we have our first question here. Discuss how you felt about the simulation at the beginning of the semester. To say the least, I was really nervous, and I did not feel comfortable navigating the simulation. The tutorial to me didn't really give a lot of insight as to how the simulation operated, especially when trying to work that simulation with 3 to 4 other people. But I knew over time with practice and things, it would get a little better. I also was really hesitant about having to work with a team, just knowing how difficult that is as working adults. So I was a bit hesitant with that, but practice and lots of communication, I knew that we would be able to make it through. The next question we have, discuss how the feelings about the simulation changed over the course of the semester. So obviously at the beginning, not confident at all, but I would say that we really relied on a lot of YouTube videos, and it took a lot of practice, but definitely YouTube videos. That was really helpful. And I would say that helped give us a grasp on kind of like what we needed to focus on and how exactly we needed to move forward through each round. And then of course, like talking through with different strategies with my teammates, they were amazing. They definitely did a lot of research themselves, and a lot of different resources were found that I thought were really helpful. They gave me a lot more confidence when doing this simulation. So I would say from the beginning, it went from a lot of nerves to being really confident as we move forward, to the point that almost it was like each round we're like, well, we really don't have to do like anything major. We're pretty set up pretty well. So that was really, really nice. What was the most difficult simulation issue you faced during the semester? Well, I would say just in general, the whole project itself, the most difficult aspect was just getting together with our teammates and trying to make a solid decision. We're all busy adults, so it was just hard to meet a lot of times to make sure we were all on the same page. But for the simulation specifically, to me, I felt like trying to figure out our starting strategy was absolutely key, and there's a lot of unknowns with doing that, because the first few rounds are what really set you up for success to kind of help you flow through the rest of the simulation. So deciding on a starting point was probably the most difficult and nerve-wracking part. And then we also did struggle a little bit with our inventory. We had a hard time keeping up with demand, which was a good problem to have. But I felt like we could have maybe made some decisions that would have helped us perform better early on in the simulation in the early rounds. So that was probably our most few difficult aspects of the project. Discuss how the performance year to year of your competitors in the industry impacted your motivation to perform in the simulation. During the practice rounds, our team really wasn't performing that well. So I think that during the practice rounds, we looked at how the other teams were performing, and really evaluated and analyzed their moves. We learned what moves not to make, and we also looked at some other teams and saw what moves they were making and like how it impacted their profits, their contribution margins, things like that. And so we paid attention to the teams that weren't doing well, but just as much as we paid attention to the teams that were succeeding. And I think that really helped us learn a lot on how to navigate forward, just kind of through each round. That was really a big aspect to our success, was learning from other teams. Let's see here. What was the most difficult aspect of collaborating with your team this semester? We really has struggled, especially myself, with finding time to meet. The rounds came so quickly and you're having to submit so many decisions so often throughout the week that it was really difficult for our team to come together every time. So we set up, consistent meetings Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then lots of emails, and we always did a really good job about trying to make sure there was a recap available, which was nice. Just working and being an adult and having a life outside of school, it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult to try and coordinate between, 4 adults. So we absolutely did the best that we could, though, and I think that my teammates did a really good job about dedicating time and making it into the class, or making it into the meetings. List one characteristic that you have learned about yourself in the context of working with the team this semester. I find that I am usually the one that is in the leadership role when it comes to group projects like this, and I often have a hard time or find it challenging to let go of that control. This assignment, I definitely took on more of a supporting role. I think that was a little bit difficult for me, and it kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety, but my team was amazing and they did an amazing job. And if you go and watch Tyler Worsham's videos, he kind of mentioned how he stepped in and took a leadership role, and he absolutely did. So I think that we all had a part to play in the success of our team, and we all contributed and we all did amazing, but it just was a little bit different structure and how I find myself contributing to a team. So that was something that was really different for me and kind of difficult to work through. If you could change one aspect of the way in which you treated team members this semester, what would you change? I think that I had the best team for this class. We really tried to be respectful and understanding of each other's time. If I could have been more consistent with attending our different meetings, it would have made me, I would have liked to do that a little bit more, but just with the times of our meetings, I just couldn't always, attend. So I definitely relied on our email communication quite a bit. But my team was always really understanding, and I knew that if I couldn't attend the meeting that I was going to be caught up, and I knew exactly what we were doing. So I wish I would have been able to give my teammates a little bit more of my time for our scheduled meetings. Describe the type of personality that you feel is the most difficult to work with. I struggle working with people who just in general kind of seem disinterested, and they don't put in a lot of effort. I feel that I like to pride myself on my work ethic, and I make sure that everyone knows that they matter and that their opinion is valued. And sometimes you just have those people that just don't really care to put in that kind of effort. So it's hard for me to work with those type of people. Luckily, I did not have that issue with this assignment at all. Everybody was phenomenal. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank your team level of cohesiveness? I definitely think that our personalities and our dedication to doing this simulation were completely in line with each other. I know that if Lori, Erica, or Tyler had been put on this assignment on their own, they absolutely would have succeeded. So I think that our cohesive level was, at an 8. I wouldn't say it was a 10 just because of our time conflicts were really difficult. But, for the majority, for most of the meetings, we were all able to be there and participate. And when it was, we got through our decisions and, could discuss on what our next moves were going to be. no issues. So everybody was really dedicated to making sure that we did well this semester, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So it was a really great learning experience, and I'm thankful that I got to go through it. So that's my oral presentation for this class, and I hope everybody else had a really great past 6 weeks.